بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Istiqamah, to continuously stand firm and steadfast on the faith of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to continuously strive for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to continuously pray, give sadaqah, fast, to be of the believers, so such that we can become not just only the Muslims and not just of the mu'mineen, but of the muhsineen, those who always try to do better the next day and the next day. And of course, the tawfiq or the success of having this is not except with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is why, brothers and sisters, the user guide, the Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala out of His mercy gave to us, teaches us to do this. We are continuously striving, whether we know it or not, to ask for istiqamah. When we say more than 17 times a day, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. This is what we're doing if we did not realize this. Whether we feel it in our heart or not, but next time you recite this ayah, remember this is asking for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy to keep us straight and continuously straight. That's why the salah of the believer, the salah of the Muslim is the first thing that is the most crucial thing we're going to be asked about. So, no matter how strong our faith is, no matter how shaky it may be, don't ever let the salah go. Be continuous and steadfast on it. Even if you're not feeling it, continuously pray. Don't let the shaitan isolate you and take you away from the flock and let you be by yourself. And say, oh, I'm a hypocrite, I shouldn't be praying. No. Even if you think you're a hypocrite, continue to pray. Continuously to pray and continue to ask for Allah's mercy. Continuously ask for Allah's mercy, because eventually, يَشْرَحْ صَدْرَهُ لِلْإِسْلَامِ. So this is whoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants good for, or if He wants you to be blessed, He will open your heart to Islam and Iman. But you have to struggle. You have to struggle. So if, for instance, a young man wants to try out for a football team, and he's not the best, but he's continuously struggling. He's failing left and right, and he wants to give up. But because he's struggling and trying very hard, then maybe his receiver coach or his head coach or whatever will give him more one-on-one attention and help him become successful. The coach will recognize that. Same thing with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He'll recognize that we're not so good, we're weak, yet we're still trying. Then He'll give us that boost, like I said earlier. How can we achieve istiqamah? Or how can we help ourselves be better on istiqamah? We should continuously try to read the Quran. If we can't read the Quran, listen to it while we're driving. Put it in our iPhone, iPod, whatever. Listen to it. Whenever you have free time, put it in the background. Let it run. And you'll notice that when you're away from it, that thing will pop in your head without you even noticing it. Why am I reciting this verse? Why? It's because it's been in the back of your mind. Now you're consciously having taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God consciousness, God reverence, God fearing. Continuously ask and check yourselves, your deeds. This is something we should check ourselves. If we're continuously checking ourselves, then we're not going to care about everybody else. We're not going to be judging so and so and so and so, because it's enough of us, our own souls, to be worried about. And sincerely supplicating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for instance, Surah Al-Fatiha. When we recite it, try to reflect upon it and be sincere with that dua. Acquire good, sound Islamic knowledge. Unfortunately, many Muslims have strayed away from this. In discussing with people of other faiths, they say, oh, so-and-so accepted this and accepted that, and they were Muslim. I say, no, they were never Muslim. They were never Muslim. Because if a Muslim really knew what Islam was, you can never change them. They're unshakable. If a Muslim knew what Islam was, they would never leave the religion. It's like, and I love to give this example, it's like, why would a Muslim leave Islam for something else? It's like having somebody who's driving a Mercedes, see a Ford drive by and say, oh my God, I want that Ford. Never would a person driving a Mercedes downgrade to a Ford. This is for a fact. Now, if a person is driving a Ford all their life and they've never seen the Mercedes, okay, maybe they'll see a Ford and they'll, okay, it's a nice car. But they don't know what's in the Mercedes. many people don't know what's in Islam because they don't have the sound knowledge. You see, in some Muslim countries, people think that culture is Islam. Therefore, they blame Islam for the bad habits of the culture. No. Filter out the culture. Islam is Islam. It's beautiful the way it is. It's people who try to taint it. Have good, sound Islamic knowledge. And studying and following the examples of the prophets and see the struggles they went through so that you can appreciate the minuscule struggles you're going through. And sticking to the Islamic community and associating with pious people. Be around people who are better than you with regards to faith so that it can boost you up. And think about the hereafter with its pleasures and punishment, and remember death often. And these will kind of give you will help you out with trying to achieve istiqamah. Let's turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and ask Him for forgiveness. Before we